What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Keno Trice Show. And I'm excited today because we got very special guests in the house tonight. Marvin Hunter. What's up, Marvin?
What's up, man? What's up? Appreciate you having me.
Glad Marvin's here because Marvin is actually out there killing it right now. You know, being on the Atlanta comedy scene, you get to meet a lot of comics from everywhere. And Marvin is from Mississippi, right?
From Vicksburg, Mississippi, but now I reside in ATL.
Now, what's special about Vicksburg? Tell us about
there was a bunch of Civil War battles there, man. That's one of the deciding factors of the Civil War. That's about it.
What did it decide? Did it decide we free now?
No, we wasn't free. It decided that, but it let the Southerners know once it was taken that we in trouble. Yeah.
I've never been to Vicksburg. Where is Vicksburg?
It's on I-20, right on the Louisiana state line, right on the Mississippi River. It's known now for a lot of casinos. There's about 4 or 5 casinos there.
Now I can imagine since it's down there, it's hot and.
Oh yeah, it's Mississippi. It's a different kind of heat. It's that sweaty crotch heat.
Learn me this. That's why I hear them old folks say, learn me this.
Learn me.
Hey, now, you're a lighter-skinned brother now.
Oh, I've never had it said like that.
A lighter-skinned brother. So the lineage down there. I'm always fascinated by people who come from the South, that we get some light skins coming out there. Hey, I'm team light skin. So, you know, for those who hadn't seen me yet, I'm team light skin. So do you know anything about the origin of why there are some fair-skinned people from Mississippi and Louisiana?
Well, I mean, because Massa was tipping down to the slave quarters. I mean, that's basically, that's what it come to. But honestly, you know, my mom's side of the family is all light-skinned, high yellow, going back for years. Now, if you go way back, I'm sure it's some Caucasian in there somewhere.
Right.
But I'm not sure how far back.
Okay. So, yeah, because I know some Creole people, and it's like, how are they so light coming from Louisiana? Because it is hot down there, like Lucifer hot.
Master was making a midnight run.
Oh, Master was getting it in. On the comedy tips, when did you start comedy? When did you know you wanted to be a comedian?
I'm odd because I wasn't one of those guys, man, I want to be a comedian, it's my dream, this, that, and other. I was comedy kind of found me. I got a divorce, and the heifer took everything. So,
is that funny?
At the time, no. But when I tell you the heifer took everything, she took everything. So now I'm broke down to my last compound. I'm in the barracks. They put me back in the barracks. I'm in the military. I was in the military at the time. So they put me back in the barracks with this guy, and he was a Marine. And man, you know, being a family man with a house and a garage and stuff, be broke back down, living like a college student, that wasn't real chill. So now I got a roommate. He's a comedian, turns out. But I always had him laughing. And then almost simultaneously, we was like, hey, I'm the comedian here, but you're the one having us laugh. Man, you all try it. And at first I was hesitant, and it took me a while. And I finally got up, and when I got up and got that first laugh, it was like a hit a crack. Now that I know what crack feels like, but I would imagine crack feels like being on stage and getting laughs for the first time.
Do you have any comedic influences? You know, you started back when you were in the military. I know there was some people you probably always thought was funny, maybe even from childhood or whatever, or somebody in your family.
I mean, you know, at this point it sounds kind of cliche to say, but I mean, Richard Pryor. Just being from Mississippi, man, I'm a heavy accented Mississippi dude. Right. My comedy comes from a lot of that, you know. I don't really have a favorite comic because I like so many people.
Right,
I mean,
right.
From Dane Cook to Cedric Entertainer, you know, saying to, you know, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle. I mean, I like, you know, a lot of people. Patrice O'Neal is one of my favorites.
Right. I've seen your show, and it's adult. Could you do that in front of your parents, some of your older family?
I've done it in front of my dad, yeah.
So now dads are usually more lenient. I'm curious about how moms and auntie or...
Well, mom's never seen me. My mom's never seen me, okay. You know what I'm saying? But she got sick before I started really, you know, getting good. So she never seen me, but my dad definitely.
Okay. What did he think?
Oh, he was pleased.
Okay.
he said, you know, did you think of that, boy? You know, old Mississippi daddy. You know, so.
our parents came from that, you get a good job and you work that job, and sometimes they never think outside the box that you can get paid being an artist.
Oh, brother, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be a cop, a teacher, work at the plant, go to the military. The normal job, the good jobs, a short list of good jobs, you get one of them, get out of our house.
Right. Work at the post office, get your job post office, worked there 40 years.
And basically that's what I did. I went to the military. and, I did 20 years in the military. And doing comedy while I was in the military. Now that I'm out, I'm doing comedy full time.
And my mom, when she first found out I was doing comedy, she was going around telling people, "Oh, he's in clown school. He want to be a clown. He got that good job. He do computers, but he wants to be a clown." It took her. It took her a while. When she came to my first show, and she saw that I did have some talent. Then she kind of changed her tune. Our parents, you go to school, you do good, you get a job. They couldn't see outside of that. How would you rate your first 2 years? Is it something you look back on and be like, "Woo, that was rough"?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. I've been so blessed. It's like you hear old people say, "The Lord knows what He's doing." I mean, He put me in a situation to where I did not suffer that bad because I was in the military. I was in Hawaii. Wasn't one place to get up. Wasn't a small group of people to deal with. So and they was very nurturing of what you was doing. Right. So the first 2 years. It was a learning situation, but I would not ever say it was brutal.
ATL scene was brutal.
and I always applaud young comics coming up here. I look at them, I was like, man, I don't know how you do it.
Right.
I applaud you for coming up through the ranks here because it ain't no joke here.
No, it ain't no joke. Yeah.
It is no joke. This is the jungle when it comes to comedy.
When did you realize that you were great?
There's been pivotal moments in my career where I knew, I think I can do this. And one of them was Mother's Day 2005 in Guam.
Okay.
There was a BET tour that came from Japan. Mm-hmm. It wasn't USO, but I think it was sponsored by the military. Came through there. It was 3 comedians: Vanessa Fraction, Honest John, and Frank G. They were going to do 4 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. The person who was supposed to host was a DJ out there, local DJ, and he was kind of scared to host in front of all black audience because he had never done it before.
Wow. Right.
And so he asked me to do it, and that was my first time being in front of that many black people and performing.
Right.
And I went up there and I did my thing, and they all really applauded me. They really, gave me a pep talks. I praise Vanessa to this day for the,
Wow. Some of us be in comedy 10 years before we go to the next state, to be in Guam.
Yep.
Wow. What was popping in Guam? What was in...
Well, I was stationed out there.
Right.
It was a small comedy scene, but nothing like BET, mostly mainstream type of stuff.
So those comics that came through, you still cool with all of them? I know Vanessa Fraction, she comes to Atlanta.
Vanessa all the time. I've seen Honest John once or twice since then, but Frank G's fell off the earth. I don't know where he is. Anybody know where Frank G is? Tell him to get at me.
Around the Atlanta scene, let's talk about the Atlanta scene, because what's so funny is that some of us are part-time and have regular jobs, and some of us are full-time, such as yourself. The running joke in my house, and I've never talked to you about that, was, when I leave at night to go do comedy or be around comedy, I'll tell my wife, I get home at a decent time, but I'll say, unless Marvin Hunter is hanging out, then I might see you in the morning, because Marvin, I tell you, if you hang with Marvin, we'll go to a comedy spot, we'll stay till it closes, then we go find somewhere to eat, and then we'll just sit in there. We'll shut the place down.
I'm all about fellowship, man. It's all about fellowship.
Like, I look up like, man, I got to be at work in like 3 hours. Yeah, but you a married guy, too. Is your wife used to that now? Or
She is now. There was a time when she wasn't. She's been married to me the second half of my career. I was doing comedy before I met her. So, it was a learning curve.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have some boundaries. Daylight is one of them. Don't come in here, you know what I'm saying, with this daylight. Overall, she's very supportive, but it took a minute. You can't do this if your significant other doesn't support you.
Right.
But to get them to support you fully, you have to make them comfortable. The burden is put upon you to make them comfortable.
Right.
And I think I've pretty much done that now.
Right. It's all about setting the tone, and there's a trust factor. You married, and we're out all times of night. What the old folks used to say, ain't nothing open after 12 but some legs. Ain't nothing but the devil.
There's a lot of legs open in Atlanta. Legs open in Atlanta 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Daylight.
Right. So ain't nothing you can't do in the daytime that you can do at night.
No.
It's really no difference. So. And it's easy to do because when you're out hanging and the camaraderie and just the stories, man, the stories we share with
That's the
one
fun
another.
part. That's the fun part to me. I love hanging around comics. I am so much still a fan. Sometimes I'm in a group of comics and it hits me like I'm a comedian.
Right, yeah.
It still hits me like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I love to be around comics. I love to talk, man. We start talk all night, man.
And one of the things where I was validated as a comedian, when you get respect from other comedians that you think wouldn't even speak to you under normal circumstances. And I've had that happen where I've been in the same places with some comedians. They ain't say a word to me, but after they see you get on stage and do your thing, then they're your best buddy. And it's
That's a rush.
Like, what?
It's a mind screw too sometimes. Like I haven't got completely used. I'm not show business. I have not made that transition yet. I don't know how to be that, and like little stuff like that baffles me sometimes.
Right.
Really it makes me feel really good when there's a comic that's a bigger name comic, maybe on TV, something like that, and you get introduced to them. They be like, "Oh, I heard of you."
Yeah.
Dude,
I know you.
Man, I get firm in the zipper. You know what I'm saying? That is the SHIT right there.
Yeah, now you know me. Let's work. What shows can I get on?
And that never happens, but yeah, that's what you're thinking.
In a previous interview I had, we were talking about how if you get on a show with a big name, a lot of times that people assume you're buddies. But one of the stories I heard from you that you may never even speak to him. You could do several shows with him and
never ever speak to the guy.
Wow.
You're hired for a job. The biggest mistake that young comics can make is you get an opportunity and you assume because they gave you an opportunity, you're their buddy.
Right.
And you start conducting yourself like that. Because first of all, they don't know you and you're going to come across as obnoxious.
Right.
And the minute you come across as obnoxious, you will not be working for them long. So I look at it as a job. I show up. What do you need me to do? How long you need me to do? And then, I'm cordial. And then I turn into furniture, dude. I just kind of blend with the walls and just chill, speak when spoken to.
I've gotten a lot of opportunities just because they know if we call Keno, he's going to be on time. He's going to do what we ask him to do. He's not going to have an ego. And it's not really about the money. It's about me growing as a comic and getting the opportunity. Now, you're a professional, so it's a little bit more about the money.
It is about the money. I'm telling you something. To each his own. You'll never hear me say, "Oh, it's about the pure art." Hey, I need to get paid. Dude.
Right.
I've been doing this long enough, man. I need to get paid my worth. I can't be out here. You know what I'm saying? The days of the freebies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I'm above doing a guest spot, a free guest spot now. It depends on the situation. But the day of I'm going out here for the love. Right. I need to get paid for my craft.
Well, you want to name drop some of the people you work with?
I said, I tour with Ricky Smiley. I've opened up for Mike Epps several times.
Nothing to shake a stick at. So especially the Ricky Smiley, because Ricky Smiley's killing it right now. He got the show
out.
Yeah, so he's hot in the game right now. And you travel with him constantly, so.
Well, not constantly, but you know what I'm saying? Every now and then. He has a pool of comics that he pulled from, and I'm blessed to be a part of that pool. That's
pretty cool. And you got to be on Bounce TV on Off the Chain with Rodney Perry, and I saw that. That was hilarious. Yeah. On our break, we're gonna play that clips. This is Marvin Hunter on Bounce TV. Check it out. He's hilarious. Let us know what you think.
This party crunk up. Y'all ready to get it in, y'all? Y'all ready to get in? Show some love for my man, Mr. Marvin Hunter. What up? Cut that crazy mess off. How y'all doing? Where my big people at? Big people, make some noise. Now, hold on now. Some of y'all sitting your big heavy set of asses up there looking at me like my eyes is lying. Now, they got adequate lighting in here. I wasn't going to make fun of you. I'm part of your community. You know, it's hard on us big folks. You know what I'm saying? Society keep telling us they want us to lose weight. Then every damn time you turn on the TV, it's new tasty treat coming out of it. Be putting these signs up all over the road, don't be warning you or nothing. They should have told me hard as had a fried bologna biscuit. I damn near told my car I'm trying to get over there. Because you know I'm going. But you know, I don't care nothing about being a big dude. I don't care, because it ain't about the weight, it's about how you wear the weight. But it's this one thing I can't have. I can't have this one thing happen to me. I can be a big dude, but I don't want this one thing to happen to me. You ever seen somebody on top of them being big? They got that, what's that big meat that be, what is that meat? What is that meat? I don't want that meat. That meat be worrying me. I just can't nobody tell you what that meat is right there. I Googled it. Came back, no results. I do not want that meat. I go to the gym, I ask him, he's like, what are your target areas? That meat? People don't be aware of their conditions. But ladies, it's some signs for y'all that y'all need to get in the gym too. I'm gonna tell you one of them right now. If the back pockets on your jeans are so far apart that they look like gun holsters, you walk around, old big Husker security guard walk around here, old big heavyset gunfighter walk around here, you get your butt in the gym. How many church folks? Church folks makes noise, makes noise. Let me ask y'all a question. I went to this one church, they speak in tongues. I ain't got nothing against that. I just wasn't raised in that kind of church. So let me ask y'all something, because it kind of confused me. If somebody's speaking in tongues, but you can understand what they're saying, that means they're playing with God, right? You ain't supposed to know what they're saying, do you? That's supposed to be a private conversation between them and the Lord. I went to this one church, I'm trying to soak up my spiritual nourishment. And the lady beside me go haul off and say, Shonda got a $9 hunt and a bottle of lotion, bottle of lotion. She playing with God. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing? You mean to tell me don't nobody else hear that? And somebody need to tell Shonda she putting her business out in the street. Go say bottle of lotion twice, say 2 lotions. Folks be mean in church. You ain't supposed to be mean in church. You're supposed to go to church to get that anger off your heart. I take my Bible with me, but I ain't gonna lie, I ain't up on the Bible. Some of y'all ain't up on it either. So when the pastor say turn to the verse in the paragraph, I don't know where to turn. But I look at my neighbor Bible to see where they turning. These mean folks be covering their Bible like the answer to the test on it. Stop, sir. Stop, sir. Stop, sir. Put your hand. My mama used to tell me, no matter what happened to you in life, if you be still, there's a message in it from God. Y'all believe that? There's a teachable moment in everything that happened to you. Y'all believe that? You ever sneeze too hard and boo-boo on yourself a little bit? That'll confuse you, won't it? How you look at Skyra like, what are you up to, Jesus? Ain't nobody got time for these stinking riddles. Especially not in the Walmart line. Wait till I get to the car. Crazy folks out here. We got to band together, stop these stupid people, y'all. Stupid people out of control these days. I was in Church's Chicken the other day. One of the employees got fired while I was in there. They escorted him out the building. He come back 10 minutes later with a ski mask on his face and a gun trying to rob the place. He still had his church's uniform on. So I give me all the money. She like, Tony, you need to stop. He gonna say, girl, this ain't none of me. Now I see a lot of white folks out there, y'all extra ticklish when I tell that joke, because y'all know it ain't none of y'all, because I said Church's Chicken employee. But white folks do stupid stuff too. And 9 times out of 10, it got something to do with some animals, don't it? The animals keep attacking, they keep trying to pet them. I don't understand that. Not too long ago in the news, there was a white lady at SeaWorld. A killer whale grabbed her hair and pulled her down to her death and drowned her. Y'all remember that? Sisters, that couldn't have been y'all. First of all, a sister ain't gonna get close to that water with her hair did in the first place. And if a sister did get close to the water and killer whale grab a sister's hair, the hair gonna keep going. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. She'll be a little embarrassed, but she will live to weave another day. Hey, that's my time. I'm Marvin Hunter. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, we are back. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I told y'all Marvin was funny. We're gonna continue the interview. So Marvin, let's talk about situations in stand-up. Like, has it ever been a time where you didn't have your best performance or even got booed? Let's talk about your worst time, your darkest hour.
I've never gotten booed.
That's just an accomplishment.
But you know what? I have had worse. When they just look at you like you got 8 heads, and they just stare at you like you're some kind of being from outer space, like you are a creature at the zoo. I would rather get booed.
It's a charge of mission. Just come look at it.
I had a showcase in Hawaii one time for it was an audition for a TV show.
Not one, like
not a chuckle.
Now,
and this was probably about 1,200 people.
Oh wow! And were there white people in the audience?
It was Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
So, it wasn't no black people. I tell you that.
Because usually, I know this would if there's white people in the audience, they'll give you a couple of sympathy.
Oh no. These were Samoans and Hawaiians, Polynesians, Micronesians, Chinese, Korean. It was that.
Oh wow!
And they showed me no love.
What about the material? Did you do material that was universal?
I did material for that. It had worked other places. I was very new. I hadn't been doing comedy. It wasn't even 2 years at the time. And that 5 minutes turned into 5 hours. It was like I was up there 5 days. Man.
You know, sometimes in some cases you just rather they boo. At least
just boo.
At least you
acknowledge me being a human being on earth. At least I'm a child of God. I exist. But when you just stare at me,
just stare. After you got off stage, was there a host? Did the host say something?
Oh, see, here's
crazy?
the deal. Okay, so there's an audition for a TV show. I get off the producers there, and you know it's considered rude to, you know, if you get up stage with other comics there, you stay and watch them. Don't just leave. I want to crawl in a hole.
Right.
So I just go to the back. I find a seat, and about 30 minutes later, the producer comes back, puts his hand on my shoulder. I think we're gonna go in a different direction. I'm like, you think?
Right. And did I just get let go from a job I didn't even have?
Bro, that was horrible. That was horrible.
So did it hinder you in any way? Did it take you a while to get back on stage?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. When the bug bit me, there was no turning back. This is what I want to do. This is what I like doing.
Right.
This, at the time, this gives me purpose.
Right.
I'm a part of something bigger than myself, and that's how I looked at it. So it didn't stop anything.
Especially in this game, you got to have a very short memory. You got to be like Brett Favre, throw a dumbass interception and then come back and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing." So we all have terrible nights, and sometimes it comes when you least expect it. Like you can kill like 4 times in a row, and then you just get that one like, "Wow!" But I told the same jokes and I had the same energy,
jokes, man. We're blessed to be in a city like, Atlanta, and then there's other places, New York, Chicago, LA, that's like that. You can get up multiple times a night.
Right.
And you can do the joke 2 places and it'll kill, and you go to that 3rd place and nothing. And you'll be sitting there like, what just happened?
Right.
I just was cross town, 2 different places at work. I get here, it bombs. What happened?
Right, you waiting for Ashton Kutcher to walk out. Am I getting punked?
It's one of the mysteries of the universe, man. It's I don't know who has to answer that. It happens. That's all you can say.
So, some comics when they get off stage, it was the audience, whatever. And I never really take that. I take that as a cop out. Like it's always something you could do. You have to learn to weather the storm. But there is just some rare occasions where it is the audience. Like,
well, don't tell you something. The politically correct thing to say in comedy, talk to these purists, it's never the audience, it's you.
Right.
That is BS.
Right.
And I don't care who disagrees.
Right.
That is BS. I have absolutely been some places where the audience was crap.
Right, yeah, true.
This venue was crap. It was not conducive to comedy. They weren't there to listen. They were drunk. They were playing pool, whatever. They came to heckle. The host encourage them to be asses.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
Some places the audience is shit.
Right, I hate that.
Excuse the language,
Right, and when it gets like that, I try to focus. If I get one laugh, 1 or 2 laughs, I'm focused on them people. Forget everybody else at the time. Like, okay, my self-esteem is already shot, so I'm just riding with the people who's riding for me. And if it's the cook that keep peeking his head out from behind the door and he laughing, well, damn, I'm gonna go back there where the cook is. Give me some fries while I'm telling jokes. You've been able to be on some big shows, some pretty big stages. What is it about the industry that you do love?
I love having a platform to speak my mind. That's what I take away from that. It's a beautiful thing to get up on that mic and be in command of people's emotions. It's like you're an orchestra director, and I can take you here and I can take you there. I'm leading you all over the place, and I'm like the shepherd and the sheep. It is something very powerful and magical about that. I really do like that about stand-up comedy. That's a rush.
Right.
The industry. Not so much. I don't really like a lot of stuff that goes on in the industry. If it could be just all about the comedy, this would be the most beautiful experience ever. That industry BS, there's some nut jobs in this industry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some people who are off their rocker for real. I don't understand little stuff like I don't like this dude, so if you know I don't like that dude and I see you talking to that dude, then that means you don't like me.
Right,
so now I got you now we got beef because you looking at it. Is some, I don't know, you can't cuss on here, but that's some HO stuff. That's some HO stuff. Grown men should not ever conduct themselves like that. You have so much of that in the entertainment industry, in the comedy industry specifically.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, especially the cliques, man. A grown man should stand on his own. You should never be in a clique or hate somebody.
We should all be uplifting to one another, man. Like all that clique stuff, you can save that, man.
And there's enough out here for everybody.
There's enough money out here for everybody to eat. Everybody, it's more than enough money out here for everybody to eat. The crab in the barrel syndrome needs to stop. That's crazy.
And then we know that group economics between a group can grow to everybody can be rich. But you're gonna get ahead of me, whatever. I'm gonna get ahead of you regardless. If I'm better than you, if I work harder than you, I'm gonna get ahead of you regardless. So no reason to hate. If I'm gonna surpass you, you will want to be my friend because I'm gonna bring you along. So
exactly. And then it's like what God has for me, He has for me. Right. It has nothing to do with you, and what you do, it has nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's wake up every day and try to be better than you were the day before, and worry about you, man. And everything will be fine.
Everybody's path is their own. Nobody goes down the same path. Even though a lot of our paths are similar, it's not the same path. So stop the hating out there. That's pretty much what we're trying to say. So going to the next topic. So I've seen your stand-up. I am amazed. Like from me being a comedy fan, I should say, and me being a comedian myself, when I watch someone perform, I look at it from a different way. And when I see you perform, I look at it as genius. Even some of the jokes, I think, okay, this joke might fall flat. You'll still come nail it. Your writing technique or how you craft jokes.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. My writing is horrible. My discipline for writing is very horrible. A lot of it is in my head, and that's why you don't hear the same jokes said the same way a lot of times because it's in my head. I definitely need to get better at it. There's a perception out here amongst a lot of comics that you don't have to write. That works for some people. You know what I mean? That worked for Biggie.
Right.
Tupac wrote.
Right.
And Tupac's body of work is way bigger than Biggie. You know what I'm saying? You don't let anyone tell. I heard a famous comedian, which I will not mention his name, get on a YouTube video and say not too long ago, if you're a comedian that writes, then you'll never make it. Are you freaking kidding me?
Right.
You know how many comics out here in the history of stand-up comedy have blown, who are household names, that write?
They're right.
So I personally am horrible at writing. You know what I'm saying? But I do respect it, and I understand the need for it.
But you have a technique. You understand how a joke should be delivered. You understand how to to communicate with the audience from a comedic standpoint. So it sometimes, you know, you do what works for you. So how did you learn how to craft a joke or how to deliver, how to, you know, a lot of people think, okay, I'm funny, but yeah, you're funny around your friends, but it's a whole different world when you step on that stage.
I was very structured when I first started. I got a book called The Comedy Bible by Judy Carter.
Okay.
And I really, you know, submerged myself into that book. And, you know, they say you go to 5 to 7 years before you find yourself in comedy.
Right.
And what happened was I was doing my little jokes, and one time, one of the punchlines, I delivered it angry.
Right.
And it was a joke that I had been doing for a while.
Right.
But I delivered it very aggravated and angry, and the crowd kind of went crazy.
Right.
I was like, whoa, what happened?
Right.
You know, what was that? And so the next time, and I was in a small market, Columbia, South Carolina, and so it took me a while to get back to be able to do it, like a month, and I came back again, and I delivered it again like that, and it went crazy. I'm like, wait a minute. So then I did a whole bit like that.
Right.
And the same thing happened, and that's when I found my voice. You see my set. My set is very aggravated. I come from a point of aggravation, and that's when I found my voice. And so I'll take a topic, an everyday topic, and I'll put my spin on it, and 9 times out of 10, I'll find something that aggravates me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how I'll come across. It's my take on it.
Right. So, yeah, delivery is everything. Delivery and confidence with your material, and, you know...
Because you're not selling the words, you're selling you.
Yeah, you're selling you.
So
every time you step on stage, we know who Marvin is, or we get a glimpse of Marvin. May not be angry all the time. He's not angry all the time. He's
but some of that is definitely me.
He's a very cool dude. So, what advice would you give to a young comic coming up in this game, and they want to be like Marvin Hunter? They see Marvin Hunter out here killing it, and they want to be the next Marvin Hunter. What advice would you give?
The advice I will give is to don't take advice. Please listen to me. Don't take advice. Because what happens is, if you're looking up into somebody's face all starry-eyed because you admire this person, you'll latch on to what they say word for word, and you'll try to do it. That man's journey is not yours, and your journey is not his. There's not one comic out there can tell you how to make it.
Right.
Because you will not be able to duplicate his success the way he did it. You have to find your own path. There's an old people's term that's called eat the meat and throw away the bones. Listen to what someone tells you. Listen now. Don't be arrogant. Listen, especially if you're young, 'cause that's another aggravation. Young comics that don't just think they know everything. But listen, but if it don't apply to you, dog, then it don't apply to you.
Right.
Find your own path, man.
Right.
Find your own path, because a lot of people out here giving bogus advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Throw you off.
They don't know, and no, yeah, to throw you off, but some of them really don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just really don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
Think about it like this: if you are at kind of like the bottom, and there's a comic down there with you at the bottom, and he been doing it longer than you, what advice can he give you?
Right, true.
Because evidently, if he had the advice, it ain't working for him. He need to tell himself. So you find that a lot. You know what I mean?
I've seen that more times than I.
If you right here, we on the same level, and you've been stuck here twice as long as me on this level, what can you really tell me?
Right, nothing.
You can't tell me nothing.
Not a damn thing.
So my advice is to don't take advice. If you want to learn, make sure that you're around comedy all the time, as much as you can. Right. Learn from other people's mistakes. The best way to learn is to watch somebody else F up.
Yeah.
Watch them F up and know I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
You'll do better knowing what not to do.
Right.
Than, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know.
And hey, I'm guilty. When I got back into comedy, I watched what everybody else was doing, and I was thinking sometimes like, I'm funnier than them, but they getting this opportunity.
Yeah.
And once I got in my head like, I got to go on my own path. I can't. Everything start opening up for me, and it's still opening up. I don't give a damn about what nobody's doing, and Keno Trice is doing what Keno Trice do, and people looking at me, well, how you get that? How you?
Yeah.
I'm just going with it.
Just do you.
I'm just doing me.
You.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, I try not to worry about anybody else, but I do watch what everybody's doing. Because,
be observant.
Yeah.
Definitely be observant.
Yeah, you watch what everybody's doing. You learn. Don't copy them. Don't steal their jokes. But
Yeah, don't steal, man.
Yeah, that's a whole.
That's a whole nother conversation. Don't steal, man.
There has been a lot of. If you get accused of stealing someone's jokes, there's a lot of backlash coming from it, and it's just not a good situation. So stay away from stealing.
Yeah,
material.
don't steal jokes. You're lower than snail turds if you're stealing jokes out there. But that's annoying. People like that do that are annoying, and they should be beaten severely. Another annoying person is the joke police.
Yeah.
Dudes out there, no matter what's said on stage, he's claiming it.
Yeah.
You know, guy comes up and he says, how your ladies doing? He's back in the back having a seizure.
Yeah.
What do you mean, how's the ladies doing? I was the first one to care about the welfare of the ladies. He's stealing. Negro, are you serious, bruh?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those people are annoying too, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause a lot of time with those people, if you spending much time working on your craft is trying to catch joke thieves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you know what I'm saying? Because really, you want to be good enough to where you might have some jokes somebody want to steal.
Right, true. Now, there's some comics that are out here, and I want to call them over-promoters. They do everything around comedy except work on their material. Their Facebook page is on point. They got a website. They taking pictures. They here, they there, but when you see them on stage, you be like, dang, if your jokes was half as good as your promotion, and I'm looking at Marvin's face, and he probably can think of some people, but we're not gonna say no names.
We're not gonna say no names, you know. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be completely honest. I admire that because you know it's. I feel like it's three parts of this. It's you know, luck, hustle, and talent.
Right.
You know, a lot of people have a lot of hustle.
Yeah.
And they lacking the talent.
Right.
You know, I wish I had that hustle like that.
Yeah, oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wish I had that hustle like that. I mean, some people, they will it to be. They will themselves to be. I am going to blow.
Yeah.
I am a comedian. You know, it's like they force it.
Right.
And when you get the talent and the luck, the right place, the right time, and the hustle all come together, man, that's when you got superstar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
yeah,
you know, you looking at like, man, they performing in New York. What is going on, man? You headlining. What is serious?
Yeah, and I'm lacking in the hustle part myself.
Yeah, I'm lacking, man. I'm lacking. You know, I need to do better. I really do need to do better. I mean, I'm out here doing my thing on focus, but putting yourself out there on that ledge that some people are doing, you know, with little to no effort, I'm just kind of not. And then I'm 43, so
Right.
I'm 43 too, so it's like I see some stuff and like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. There's no way that I'm about to do that.
Ride down Peachtree on roller skates in a bikini underwear.
Dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
And that's the aspect about it too. You know, we're along the same age, and when you get older in comedy, that is one of the things. Be like, hey, if I got to do that to make it, it just won't happen. So yeah. You tend to take more risk when you're a younger comedian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's some horror stories out there. You know what I'm saying? I sit there and listen to some of these guys, and I'm amazed. Like, dude, are you? I mean, what? Are you a different form of male mammal? I mean, how does your brain work? How is your brain wired, man?
Did he just do that for real? Did I just see that? Yeah. So yeah, there's all kind of people trying to get in the game, and like I said, everybody's path is theirs. If you think you're funny, by all means, you know, try it out. But you know, like I said, there's some super hustles out there, but they never focus on the craft. They do make it.
They get in the room with the important people. They get on the important shows. Now, I'm not saying they produce when they get there, but at least they get there. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'm not there, so you know I can't do nothing but respect them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So. It's about hustle. you know, I have conversations with comedians all the time, and we say that, you know, part of this game, a lot of it is not about being funny. It's everything else around it.
That's a small portion of it. The biggest thing about this is relationships, man.
Right, relationships.
It's relationships, and people have to endorse you. It's something as simple as, you know, Keno Trice's name comes up in the group of people, and they're like, "Oh, Keno, yeah, he cool, man. He cool, man. Yeah. That's my dude." Or Keno, oh man, I don't know about that guy. And just a simple statement like that can send you spiraling to the abyss, and you will have no clue what's happening.
No clue what's happening.
So people have to like you. You know what I'm saying? People have to, you know, deal with you and want to be around you. You know, I'm not necessarily saying you have to be an angel or, you know, the nicest guy, but people have to think you're fair, and people have to be comfortable in your presence.
Right. And now I was just saying to my producer earlier, Dawu, I was like, you know, it's a lot of people that I mess with, and they mess with me because I'm a real dude. I ain't, you know, I don't come with the BS. I'm straight up with you. I ain't trying to get over. I'm a regular
cat,
dude.
man. I still consider myself a regular cat.
Right.
I'm always gonna be that, man. I don't know nothing else to be.
Right. Certain opportunities I've gotten, your name has come up, and people like you, so we just gonna bring you on. You may not be the funniest, but we like you, so
that's what it's about, relationships, man, because it ain't about being funny.
Being funny is a plus.
Dude, the funniest people, the funniest comics in the country will probably never be seen.
Yeah, that is true.
They're like, you know, some of the best basketball players are on the basketball court in the hood. They'll never make it pro. It's the same way with comedy, man. You know, it's all this political BS nonsense, if you ask me. I mean, I know I've been told, well, you gotta change your point of view on that. It's the game. You gotta play the game. Okay, it's the game, but it's still BS.
I was lucky enough to be a house MC for a while at a local comedy club, and it was almost standard. Like we talked about here in Atlanta, we just on a different pedigree. Now, I'm still finding my way in the comedy game. So when I was a house MC at this certain comedy club, I'm not gonna name, but a lot of the features that came through there open up, and they would just eat it after me. And I had one of the headliners. I guess he brought the feature with him. He thought this dude was funny, and it was the last show. He was like, "Oh, go ahead and do 15, 20. Just do your thing." And I murdered it. And his feature came on, and somebody caught me in the back. Like, we drove all the way here from such and such. If you don't get that guy off stage, we're gonna leave right now. And the headliner pulled me to the side and was like, "You know why this show is going bad?" And I'm like, "No." He was like, "Because it's you. Nobody expects anything from the host." And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Yeah. Now was this a mainstream club?
Yeah, mainstream. Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of like the difference too, because urban features got that pit bull, man, like sharks, man. It smell blood, like you know. Man, if you're a headliner and you got a feature, you better bring it, because he gonna bring it.
Yeah, he gonna bring it. Yeah. I heard a comedian out of LA say that when he comes to Atlanta, and he specifically named Uptown, he said when he goes to Uptown, he said every comic that comes before him goes for his throat. And he was like, you know, they go for you. You're juggling. If you come to Atlanta, you go to Uptown, and you the headliner. He was like, every comic, and he was like, they'll put 10 comics before you.
Yeah, they coming. Coming for you. They want your blood, dude. So, you are a tasty meal. They're looking at you, licking their lips. Like you go out there and you don't bring it if you want to.
Right.
And the word's gonna get out. You perform that first show, that first night, and don't do well. Word's gonna get out. That next day is gonna be more features there, more guest spots waiting to get up, because they want you dead. They want your head on a stick. Right.
So the come up from Atlanta, hey, you got to go through a lot here. From going to rooms, and I'm sure this happens in the bigger markets like LA and New York, that if one of the big dogs come through, you get bumped, and they might do 30, 40 minutes, and before you know it, you looking at come back next week.
Come back next week. And it what's crazy is I've only been here in Atlanta for 3 years, so when Atlanta was really bad, I wasn't even privy to that. And it's I mean, I know how it is now, but it was like 3-4 times worse. Back in the day. You know. So it's Atlanta's something serious.
So a new comic here, if you want to get your reps in, Don't go to the main clubs where the big dogs hang. Go to little coffee shops,
coffee houses,
the bars, whatever.
You know.
And two, another part of the game, and some people got to realize to stay in your lane. Like I've got an opportunity to do some church shows, and I know I'm not ready, so I'm not about to put myself in that predicament. But what I do now is if I have an opportunity to go to a gospel show, I go and watch.
Yeah.
You go learn, you soak it in, and then when you feel like you're ready, then take that plunge.
It's actually easy. I was, you see my show, I cuss a lot, but my first church show, I was very, very nervous. But just don't cuss. If you're funny, you're funny.
Right.
It's gonna be funny, and it's some of the best crowds you can go to. They're not gonna be drunk.
Right.
They're not gonna be heckling you. The money is always on time. I mean, it's one of the best gigs you can do is a church show. You know what I mean?
They eat it in front of the church crowd. They there to support you. Jesus loves you, baby.
Yeah.
And then after you bomb, there's always that older black woman that comes up to you, baby. I thought you were funny.
Keep trying,
just
baby.
Keep going.
Keep God first.
Just pray tonight. Just pray before you lay down. God gonna bring you some jokes. Poor baby. Man, this has been fun, man. I want to thank you for being here with me
Absolutely.
today, Marvin.
I appreciate you having me.
Now, where can we find you, Marvin, on social media? That's what
get at me
do.
at my website, www.marvinhunter.com. And then you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at Comedian Marvin H. That's Comedian Marvin H at Instagram and Twitter. And just look up Comedian Marvin Hunter on Facebook.
Right, and you should have a lot of stuff pop up, man. Like I said, this dude is going to be huge, and I'm glad to get him here before he blows up. And then I call his phone, and he be like, I don't know no Keno.
Keno?
Keno who?
That nigga owe me money.
Right. So that wraps it up for this episode of the Keno Trice Show. So I'm Keno Trice and
Marvin Hunter.
And until next time, we'll holler at you. You be cool. Peace.